And welcome back here. We've got map number 2 underway. It's going to be Triumph taking on GGPR. And this is going to be the map pick of Triumph as well here. So put in the driver's seat after a dominant first map here. We're heading into Inferno and full control lies into this Triumph roster.
Yeah, absolutely. Just with how confident they were in the first and how much more important things like utility get, it's going to be even harder for GGPR to find rounds overall. Good move by Insaniac, able to get some early info of them pushing top mid. They haven't been able to find anything else, but they have been willing to push Banana at least. They're going to be pushing a little bit too far, as Wills and Sexy can hold this crossfire and maybe even regress if they're interested. JT wisely moving on back.
Making a dink down there early on. But it's only through the wood wall, so not the end of the world. Flashbang setup rolling out as well. Ready for the execute, it seems. We're going to see some aggression here. B-Wolves finds the 2 opening frags. He's able to clear out single-handedly that B side. This Beaky, wow, still close by. He's good for the headshot to slow down some aggression. He's repositioned as well in towards the construction side of things here. So not out of the realms of possibility just yet. I'll start to hear all of the footsteps and needs to turn around here shortly. Doubles down here for another. Gonna get a 3K. Can't make it a 4 though. George is gonna best him here, but great damage towards the tail end from Beaky, putting this round into contention, and the double swing comes through as well. Hate just taking the fight and will eat the bullet because of it. Maybe a little bit over aggressive. And you can see now George game plan is to try and plant the bomb, but he just can't get an idea of where to do it just yet. And the boost comes through to close things out.
Yep, able to quickly recover. If it wasn't for that anchor from Beaky on B, there would not be around for us to see. Able to find that 3K and keep full control of the B site as long as possible. And even tagging one down to 6, just one bullet short of the 4K, just allows that site to be retaken and just deny the possibility of anything happening for Triumph there. And actually allow them to get that pistol, which is going to be very important. That good CT start. You see, let them get 2. As it's only pistols for Triumph, and very unlikely for them to find much with just a single Deagle and P250, especially with one of the 2 gone.
Already a slow start here for Triumph, like you mentioned. Dropping a few. Looking for some continued aggression here is Insaniac towards the top of middle. A lot to spot out here. As you can see, Exceed, he's been put on watch by the MP9 here. Now B-Will's looking for a shot towards the top of Banana. Spamming down.
They left B completely open. It's just Beaky. This Deagle is able to take him down. That's a bomb plant.
Cool. Clothesline's the first here, and you're exactly right. But yeah, that's just what Beaky can do. He even saw in the pistol round when he was left alone. He finds 3 kills, and he will once again save his team from that kind of disaster, like you mentioned, of giving up bomb plant. So GGPR take the first 2. Now here comes the real gun round, though. For this,
yeah, Beaky can be consistent with that anchoring. It might be able to get them a lot more rounds than you'd normally be able to get away with having such an important position being held successfully by a player. The anchoring, one of the most difficult things to do, especially when you have all these AKs coming your way and just MP9s to work with, treating it as a bit of a bonus round. But they'll be sure to throw a lot of utility, trying to go for that banana take, and actually win it on out. And Beaky's able to keep his life despite nading in the open, though does lose his teammate JT in the process.
Yeah, I mean, right now we are seeing a lot of effective anchoring, but here's a 4v5 immediately put on the scoreboard for Triumph. They're looking to continue to take middle. For the most part, been falling off. Beaky has stacked over here towards A as well, and there's a lot of chip damage taken off of Triumph's shoulders, but no frags quite yet. And look at this continued aggression that's going to come down mid. And Shaniak, he's in for a world of hurt if he's not careful. He gets caught with this smoke out. Oh my god, a little bit over aggressive there as he peeks down Banana, and now it's going to be a late rotate in. MP9 in hand, he's just going to peek down. He has to pull off a miracle. He's able to find the first. He nails that headshot onto George. He's looking for more on the corner. Bomb's being planted here. There's not quite another, though. I started to believe for a second, but at the end of the day, it's going to be a 4v2 retake.
We've got a nice little bit of trouble, though I'm sure things will be put to an end soon from Exceed taking out his old friends. Old friends would be a harsh way to say it. Sure, they're all friends, old teammates rather.
Yeah, yeah, might
But
be generous.
yeah, able to get that third round and absolutely an overextension there. Just throwing the smoke from bottom banana in a semi-open position, allowing yourself to get sprayed down rather than backing up and just smoking off to give the pressure while keeping yourself in safe territory.
And
You always want to be careful when you use utility and where.
here's the weird thing about that as well is you know exactly what to do in that position when you're alone on B is to just jump spot banana, and with that smoke in hand, once you take a first point of contact, you could just smoke off the choke point and win the round essentially. Instead, the fact that he uses both his Molotov and his smoke immediately just kind of shows that he kind of walked into that one a little bit, maybe willy-nilly. Now, it's going to be a B-side execute rolling on out, and a good eagle shot from B. He's doing a great job of fighting here, but is it enough to close things out?
JT with a pretty nice position just on the stair smoke, just having the room to play around the site, treated as like a giant wide pillar to play around and move through. But I'll have to anchor with Beaky and go aggressive, able to find that first shotgun. Deke finds a second, but it's George causing a bit of an issue, even when blind, finding the 3K to keep the opportunity for triumph in check, despite how concerning the situation is. And Shaniak's holding in case he rotates, or is just waiting for the bomb down to get better info.
He's starting to make his way up banana after biding his time here, and George is going to meet him shortly. Yeah, that's a freebie. Triumph, give up an eco GGPR on the CT side. Showing some serious strength here. Much, much more clean on Triumph's map pick, at least in the early stages. Now we're very, very early on. But that one has to be a little bit frustrating. You thought you had an access point in towards B after all those kills, but then MP9 swings straight through the smoke and it keeps you down. It knocks you back down a peg, and Triumph are going
And
to
it all
go.
has to do with JT able to find that miraculous double with the Deagle. Just clean first spam onto the first and able to
Oh,
find the shot on one of the tagged players to finish it. And that will help with the Soniac getting the first pick in the next round. Already give them that man advantage and try to make sure that they convert things and continue this solid start.
a good smoke towards middle as well. Keeping that one down to buy some time here. Keep that aggression at bay. It's going to be the name of the game here. They do have a pretty heavy bracket set up. Off angle coming through from Cuz, nearly connecting with the
Almost
eagle shot.
landing the spray
Yeah.
on him.
See if he goes for
I'm
it again.
surprised one of the stray bullets just didn't inaccurately land on him.
Right.
Fortunate day for him. But Hate seems to be aware of the possibility.
Ooh.
It wasn't enough to scare him off. He saw the shoulder,
Oh, man.
not able to land the shot, but able to find a tag at least. Caused a little bit of trouble. And all these players are stacked on quad. They can get into CT spawn here until the Soniac's pushing on up.
Ooh.
When this is the first flick, has to repeak it.
Oh,
Exceeds
bomb's down.
taken from short, and that's the bomb down. But George is already well prepared here. And his Soniac's able to get that trade. Able to make it 2 onto Kaza, but peeks through, and the wallpaper's too thin. Pluto will just shoot him through with the M4. Able to clean things out there.
There we are. Will be a 4th round secured. Now, it's a little bit of damage towards the tail end for B-Whales with the Tech 9. It's still lacking in rounds here in the early stages for Triumph. A much slower start than what we saw on Vertigo. We're going to get another buy-in here. Lots of utility being brought out on this T side, but right now it's been Beaky keeping that at bay in a strong fashion. Johnny Ack and even Pluto stepping up to the plate as well. And once again, Johnny Ack is going to find himself an opening frag here with the AWP on banana this time, with a little help from that Furious smoke to kick things off.
Yeah, as long as Insomniac keeps getting these opening picks for GGPR, their chances to seal this map away just skyrocket. Just, it's so much easier to get these rounds when you have that man advantage. You get that breathing room. Worst case, you have a 2v2 on your retake. Things get broken up more evenly. And they even have 4 stacked up on A. Prepared. Everyone leaning towards here except for Sixy with the bomb. Willing to stay towards bottom ramp. And Beaky Wow's the main one playing towards B with a more reasonable, can we say, back B position, just going for the info. If they happen to go towards that site, certainly we'll be able to call that flashbang and trying to anchor hard on CT for that first contact. So he knows that smoke's soon fading, and the nade timing's perfect. It's going to be
Oh,
beautiful. Bring George down to half, but he's still going to have to anchor this site on his own as the flashbang comes on through. Maybe players coming to assist, but they won't be here anytime soon. And he's able to find one, almost a second, taking down 60. And so much damage being brought on through, and a man advantage for GGPR, all because of that initial pick from Insomniac.
Beaky with a decent hold. Now it's going to be up close by. It's a coffin stack. They'll see the barrel shortly. Swings out. 60 knows he needs to make a move. Be proactive. Now it's Succeed. Trading things back. He's fought his way back into a 1v1 now. He's on low HP though. Only 21 to his name versus a full HP Cuz. Flashbang's now rolled off. Cuz, is he going for the full stick? Oh, he is. Balls of Steel. He's going to continue it. Can he behind it? Oh my god, just in time. GGPR will take the 5th round. Not scared of anything. Cuz just walks up to that bomb. Knows that his opponent is going to be hesitant. Certainly was the case right there. Beautiful stuff.
Yeah, GGPR are taking every single risk this time around, and everything's panning out for them, allowing them to get these rounds and build this lead. Triumph still able to go for a buy, has a couple of Galeals, but able to bring up that AWP, might be able to try to confront and take down Insomniac, and all this trouble he's been creating over this first half so far, and try to get Triumph more rounds and stop this dominance from GGPR.
Actually going to open up the round here in this one. Able to take down the banana player. Now looking for a trade back as Insomniac onto Exceed. Close by. Ready and waiting. There comes a swing and a miss from rather Insomniac, but Pluto will not. He'll be able to best his opponent and fall out of line. Equalize into the 4v4, but aggression towards banana here. Heavy HP being taken from both ends of things. And everyone's just going to walk away, you know, shaking hands here, conceding that damage trade-off. And maybe a B-side executes in the cards, but a third player even has rotated over as well in the form of
GGPR taking the gamble and rotating there. They want Insomniac to be where he's going to have the most impact. And they're doing the default CT smoke. They're not doing it from a safe position. Picked out for free. Something that certainly shouldn't have happened. And swinging too wide means Sexy's left 1v3 caught in the open. And GGPR seem to be absolutely in control for the CT half so far. Triumph not finding any ways to adjust.
Yeah, full control. I mean, this is not as we'd expected as well. Did not think it would look this confident coming through from the DT side. And they're certainly showing up pretty hard.
Yeah, looks like they put a lot of work in to the second map to try to be competitive against Triumph, and it's working out so far. Finding all these opportunities, get this lead. But all it takes is one round for things to fall apart. This still can end, for example, at a 9-6 half in favor of Triumph. I don't think they're going to be taking this round, but they certainly can keep it a very competitive scoreline. There always is that opportunity, especially with the CT side, with Exceed going for that first opening, able to find it on Kaza. Has to try to find more off of it, but instead it'll be Hate going for the next contact, confirming the location of that AWP, going for some CT info and trying to swarm around both sides of the site, make it impossible to breathe and choke them out as they surround them. But with the flashbangs, Beaky pushes through, and despite the flashbang being late, he's still able to take one before Wheels is able to get that trade with the Tech 9 and gets taken down by Pluto with that M4. Forced into the open, but George able to get 2, going for 3, finds it, able to trade Sexy out, and Triumph are able to finally get their second round and still be able to bring an AWP to the next.
I like how confident they played that as well in that last initial trade there. 60 just going for the wide swing, knows that he has a teammate close by to find that. And now look at the economy of GGPR. It's 5 USPs in play right now. They don't have much to spend. I think they're just going to go for a buy in this next round and fully concede it. Maybe I've spoken too soon. As we are seeing
with too much cash to use, grabbing that mag 7 because why not? I think it's going to be too fragile to be able to get kills effectively, but we'll have to see. He'll have to be very fast on that trigger to get away with it. But he is being given that opportunity. Exceed's in the same position again. Insomniac trying to creep it out, get that info, and is brought down to 12. Fortunate Galil hasn't shot through and taken him out entirely. will have to concede and hope he has the fortune, or hot potato the gun to someone else.
See if that's the case here. Oh, gonna rain out on it. He likes it cuz they're gonna continue this as well. Molotov catches them off. That's gonna burn all of them. They're forced to run around in apartments here right to maybe the AK as well. Beaky. He's been spotted out here. Holding down the line. 2 kills rain on out in time. Shaniak gonna fall the same. And JT on the opposite side of the map, the wrong side of the map, is looking to make a kill happen with USB. He wills. Not gonna let that happen though. Probably have to take a third.
Yep, able to get that safe conversion. And it makes sense they grabbed a little bit of weaponry because they do have to half buy it unless they want to go for an MP9s, which I would significantly doubt. Familiar nade stack going into play, besting a little bit, keeping around that 3K mark once again. Try to build up that loss bonus and at least get some damage onto your opponents. I imagine Triumph will be cautious of the possibility of these HEs trying to stay passive, but they do have the space to push through mid, but they won't be able to find these picks as George just sidewinds Pluto. They're able to handle the entire push. Beaky Wow is able to find one with that P250, but otherwise nothing to say other than giving Triumph their 4th and having the weapons to fight in round number 11.
Once again, we'll have the AWP as well here on the hands of Inshaniak. He do some damage with it. You've seen a lot of aggressive positioning from him. And this triple B setup is kind of hinting at that once again. It looks like they're going to maybe push down Banana here, utilizing that AWP as Molotov to scare them off. Nades are just raining up. And this is going to be Triumph's Banana control. They're way too hungry for that to hang around here. One still does, though. And it's able to find the frag. JT going to find that kill. And now the reposition back towards A with some pace as well.
He's just hunting for these engagements to stick with him for a second, but he's not concerned about that. He's just clearing the site, able to find all the space needed. Players just hiding in Cold Zero. Tesla's able to find one, but just giving too much space away for the rest of the site to be just taken over, picked apart. And now it's Insomniac with the AWP to retake with a single rifle to help on out, and the rifle's already been seen. JT's position's known. They're trying to be creative and boost up, but Exceed can see over this. He sees the barrel, takes him down. JT's just trying to run away with this AWP, and it looks like Sexy isn't having any of that idea. Already prepared to hunt him down.
Here we are. We got JT saving his rifle. Not a bad round right there from Triumph, able to overwhelm them. I mean, there's just very fast trading right there coming through.
Yeah.
And it will be
And
60
Sexy did a fantastic move, boosting on top of the lattice and getting on top of the well to actually have an angle without even being seen. He was just able to, Sexy was able to just chill, scoped in, just looking at his opponent, staring at CT, and just freely take him whenever he felt like it. Make sure it's not before he gets away and denies that op from being saved. But something worthy to note.
Now
Being
holding
able
on
to avoid that op sightline.
Eagles here already. A little leg shot coming through from 60. We'll find the opener. Take down in
I think it was a chest shot through the corner of the wall, considering it when he went down to 11. It's absolutely ludicrous.
Oh. Very rough start here. I mean, it shouldn't be much, though. Just pistols doing some damage. It's going to be the name of the game. And so far, it's just been damage onto Exceed to open things up. The A-side stack to come through here from the CT side. They've got a lot of players huddled around the pit. And what is the game plan here? It seems like they're taking brackets control, but with Triumph's default that they're currently running, they have plenty of time to move around.
Yep. Looks like Cuz is able to find one, able to sidewind Exceed and get revenge for taking that A site last round. But Sexy's already just staring with this P250, trying to use that utility as bait. Doesn't want to be unprepared at just the wrong moment. JT's just holding this angle, and 8 will hard clear him out as they go further into this A site. Likely to clear both these players, just trying to hide. It's Sonic Exposition's known, taken out. And 8 will hold down the fire. Enjoy the BM.
Oh, lovely stuff.
And
right
now
there.
we have an even scoreline.
Very quickly as well, 6-6 right now, and it's going to be 5 on the trot for this Triumph roster. Feeling more and more confident as time goes on. And another gun round I'm going to rattle on off, but it's been very, very slow in these past couple. For GGPR, when at once they looked like they were having control, I think they've kind of settled down more so in going for opening duels. And that's kind of been a game changer here. Once Triumph aren't immediately in that 4v5 and they're able to execute with their full manpower, they're able to work these trades. And look at that. It's going to be Inshaniak looking for a collateral. So very close, but he's not able to find it.
Good job by George making sure that isn't possible by having good positioning, not getting caught out. But the one thing going on is a very aggressive banana take. And even a little bit of damage brought onto Wills. And as George is going through this, he doesn't care. Decides the wrong angle, but Wills still finds the trade anyways. And JT's already running with concern. They've been able to just push through Banana. They had no reason, plenty of time left, and just wait for the smoke to fade, but decided just to push through it anyways because they felt like it. And they leave it to a 3-on-3. The gamble's towards B. Pluto will be able to get the info on A in just a second. Knowing Triumph, all that has to happen is Wills has to look this direction, and the shot missing makes it even more of a problem, not able to get that pick. Carefully smoke arc, and the shoulder was seen. Sexy's just staring towards him, jumping around, and Will be the one to keep his back covered so he doesn't end up exposed. And Will's once again covering his teammates. Utility being thrown, trying to get into the bomb site without getting shot in the back. Wills has you covered.
Sexy gonna drop JT as well to close things out. 7 rounds. Triumph take the lead here. I mean, after losing that first couple of pistols, they were able to win that first gun round. And now all of a sudden, it was a little bit of dominance. Now Triumph take it right back. All the control that was being built from GGPR, that solid, stable half, fades away very quickly as Beebles hit some blinders in that last one, covering his teammates' backs, covering all angles. And now we're going to see a half buy of sorts here. A lot of utility, a lot of nades rolling down the range here. Imagine going to do some chip damage, but it's 60 to find the opener.
With that, A site's open. Everyone gambled towards B.
Oh.
They picked up that scout, and they're just running on through.
Haven't made it into
and
sight
the
yet.
only thing makes it worse, even though it's with the bomb, they're pushing Arch. Will's just going for more engagements, trying to bewilder the opponents. And even with that, Pluto find one through the smoke. Hate responds right back and takes him out. And because it's the last one left with a Deagle. Though I think that one from the library should be able to get picked up at least, though how much it will help will be likely very little.
Oh, it was almost helpful. He almost falls to it, but luckily he lives to fight another day. And with one around the corner, he's going to bail out. Let's see if it converts. Oh my god, what a peek.
Oh.
The nade might do it. Not quite.
He goes into the pit,
oh!
It saves him. Oh, a double though. Okay, things we put to an end. Sexy says he's had too much fun and puts him back out of the round. But still, some nice shots and getting some damage with that Deagle. Able to get some cash collected out of it at least.
That's solid stuff right there. Coming through from
and
Lexicus.
I said I was doubtful of a 9-6, but it might be about to happen.
Yeah, it's very likely. At this point, the momentum's just rolling right now. I mean, once those opening frags have stopped going their way, it's just required of Inshaniak to make these aggressive plays every round, or else the executes are going to be too much. And now it's burning down in the flames. Banana is fully compromised. B's fully compromised, and it should be a night here unless a retake of a proportion I don't see that often can come through here. Already back Hall's control.
Happens because George wants more, and Saniac will put an end to his rage. Stop him from fighting even more. But still, it is 3v4, and Sexy will just scope down the Saniac through the smoke, because why not? I think Pluto's aware of Hate's position. Will at least take him down, but still, it's a 1v3, and there's an entire T side wanting to hunt him down. It's giving him the chance to retake back into this, but the op from Sexy is always enough to finish the job and get Triumph the lead at 9-6 going to the CT side.
Very, very strong lead right there. For the boys over at Triumph, they'll take that one happily, considering the start. I mean, if we take a look at the scoreboard right now, that was a 8 rounds in a row that they were able to take over GGPR, only getting that one round early on and finishing things off at 9. So, I mean, I don't know what was the difference maker there, but it did seem like they had a good answer for what was being thrown in from Chaniak. They also were able to stop Beaky Wow's uh, very successful anchoring. And so at the end of the day, we close out 9-6 with those two factors alone.
Yeah, I'd say GGPR's default was very static overall, and even though it was likely a very new one, probably why I caught Triumph off guard, but once they were able to adjust, they were able to just counter it every time and just play around them and get those adjustments to just completely start running over them again. But now this means with the side swap that we could see some surprises from GGPR, and if Triumph are able to hold on to them, or if they need some time to adjust to get that dominance we've been seeing so far come out once again.
We're going to see some stuff come through, I imagine, from GGPR. On the other end of things, I'd like to see Triumph really lock things down. You mentioned that this map very, very util centric in terms of how you're going to mount a defense there. I mean, Banana's a one-way choke point that you can throw mollies down, you can throw smokes down. So I imagine Triumph are going to be doing a whole lot of that. We saw GGPR kind of attempt it in interesting fashions and forms, but for the most part, they conceded banana control most of those rounds, and when they didn't, they were catching heavy amounts of nades.
Yeah, on top of that too, Triumph, like once they understood what the game plan was and how GGPR were playing, they just constantly adjusted how they went for the same things. They just sometimes went aggressive to retake banana. Sometimes they would go through the apartments with 2 players to be sure to trade effectively, just in case they decide to have the op there. And a lot of the reads and calls they make have been working out and just allow them to get those punishes.
Running a quick Inferno execute. We can get some camp pass going in the meantime. But yeah, see what? No buys yet in this place. We got Nchaniak and Cuz both buying armor here. I wonder if we're going to see the rest of them do the same as we're waiting on this finisher to get the ball moving. You have these long halves here, a little halftime break.
Yeah, certainly the case. See a little bit of armor picked up on GGPR. Be nice to see a little bit of utility, but want to see them just try to abuse the strength of the Glocks. Speaking of pistols, interestingly enough, Sexy usually use the P2000.
I'm trying to remember. I believe he did at Bragg. Yes. I remember thinking, I thought he went for a play that I was like, you can only do that with a P2K, and I think he just uses it all the time, maybe. So interesting to see. I feel like that's kind of fallen out of the wayside recently.
I mean, it's usually always been on the wayside. The main benefit of the USP, like the weapons may be comparable, but the fact that the USP has far less ammo is usually considered a strength because you can easily just burn mags and have what should be a very deadly weapon against the Glocks become something useless to use against the other USP players because there's no ammo left in the weapon when you pick it up. But of course, that's obviously not an issue with the P2K that has infinitely more reserve mag. But it also means you can fire a lot more shots. So depending on what you do, if you can go for a lot of spammy engagements, say with through smokes and stuff through banana, you still have only one more bullet in the mag, so don't have that much extra room to spam compared to the Glock. But it's more to work with than it's given credit.
I mean, you could maybe use it towards banana here if you get rushed upon. Be an effective position. See, 4 pauses. Classic here in the halftime. I like it though. You get to talk things over. Maybe GGPR can figure out a real game plan for the second half because first half started out their way. I think they just ran out of steam and could not close things out because again, it was 8 rounds in a row here at one point that they were able to get into, and all of a sudden it just looked like they lost control.
Yeah, that's a sign a lot of it has been the knowledge get up. A lot of the plays were from sneaky moves and knowledge to be able to surprise Triumph and get those picks. So they were already put in a disadvantageous position. But once they knew how to make that stop happening and react to the moves GGPR were making, they had nothing left to be able to follow it up and just kind of crumble when caught out. And it seems like we're starting to see why, because having technical issues.
Oh, tech issues. Classic. Bane of our existence. We will get into things here shortly. We'll say, I guess, in the meantime, we can take a look at the moment of what we are rocking with in terms of the bracket here for the closed qualifiers, because right now we are sitting in the, let's see here, the lower bracket actually. So this is, or rather upper bracket, my apologies. We were sitting with Triumph already taking a 2-0 victory over ATK, who is currently leading Third Impact over on the other stream, and GGPR
Oh,
actually took a 2-0 victory over Third Impact as well. So now we're heading into,
it's because Lowriders returned. That's what's going on.
oh, is he joined back? Lovely. Good
Yep,
timing.
yep. Uh, wise words from Sexy. Better late than never, which is a very true statement to make.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Sometimes we gotta, I feel like he's at work or something, which is always a tricky thing to handle. I know he's got a real life that he has to deal with, being one of the older guns in the scene. So, because he did a good job, but he's gonna be sitting this one out here, and now slotting in is going to be the likes of, well, I've got, is it Lowrider in the server now?
Yep.
Oh boy, this is gotta do a number on my HUD, I think. Let's figure it out. We got this though.
Mm. Yep. He's suddenly here now. Have to worry about that. Nice to see him be able to show up and participate some in this.
For sure, yeah, I'm excited. He's unfortunately not going to be playing, I believe, on that CT side. Starting off on the T side, he can be super sick with the AWP.
Might be able to be just as important. The ability to coordinate and just have the team be more familiar is very valuable on that T side. So might help them get more rounds here and stay competitive.
Oh boy, I'm trying to. I think might have caused a little bit of chaos in the HUD department. I think I can figure it out here. We should, usually spamming the refresh button will fix stuff, but right now it hasn't quite done that just yet. I think it should sort itself out once we get things started. If not, I can just go for the default HUD here for the remainder of this map, and we can get things fixed to the third. We'll see how things pan out, though.
I mean, surprised we'll have to see a third for that to be the case, and I'm not entirely sure that's going to be the case if things continue. GGPR have been able to get a lot of surprises out of us so far, but still not the favor to get ourselves to a decider, or at least as of now.
Still refreshing. No luck just yet. Yeah, I imagine we'll get things nailed out in the once we go live here. But as for the defense, I've seen 6C play B quite a bit here. As that Opper, I'm wondering if he's going to be changing it, because on his previous rosters, he has been one to double op with that B bomb site. I feel like he did it on Triumph when he was on before he moved to the other roster, but before he moved to Choco Check, I believe. But maybe he can opt down Banana and have some similar impact. I imagine it would be playing pretty fluid throughout the map, as often oppers are forced to do. In Shaniak, we saw a little bit of that from him. But waiting on things to expire here. Trying to throw that block out of the map here. It's not working.
Yeah. Clock from player from the wrong server. It's going to have, because be able to have powers from the grave. the virtual one. Just be able to enhance, but it's blocked off. No way to throw the Glock out. Just have an extra unneeded 6 Glock just in existence. No matter what Beaky does, he just can't get rid of it.
I'm looking at the chat right now. I see it.
He's cursed. Glued, unable to escape.
Still trying. Come on, one more. You gotta really throw it up high. Is there any chance, as a map maker, that you know if that's blocked off?
It absolutely is.
Okay.
If you can actually see it just bouncing off of nothing, if he throws it right.
Yes, it does look like that's got what's going on here. He's hitting a brick wall.
Amusing.
I imagine
I
the
can't remember if the entire spawn of T is blocked off when they started adding clipping to it.
Yeah,
Because you used to be able to throw weapons like right off of spawn during freeze time, and
that's a great way to troll.
if you accidentally threw an AK out, that would be a very tragic thing to happen, or even an AWP in spite of someone.
Right. Yeah. I mean, imagine you are someone who's not trying to win the game. You're sitting there throwing an op out into the water, and then it's not like you could throw a grenade, get that one back. That one's swimming with the fishes here down below, so no luck there. But with that being said, I might throw it into a quick break here. We'll be back with the second half here shortly. I'll keep an eye out. It might not be too long. We're still unsure of delay. Might take a little bit before Lowrider can jump in, but we will be right back. Stay tuned to the DreamHack TS broadcast. We'll be back with the second half coming up.
Spending life like we're wasting time. All these sleepless nights without a clue. Lost inside, thinking deep in time. Will your heart cross mine when I'm with you? Secrets worth keeping, but now all these thoughts are pouring out from my mind. 'Cause I think that you could be everything I want, everything I need. You're the one who makes me feel like you could be everything I want. Take my hand like a stolen gem. Love is so unplanned, we never knew. Secrets worth keeping, but now all these thoughts are pouring out from my mind. 'Cause I think that you could be everything I want, everything I need.
And we are back here into the second half of map 2. We've got the ball moving here once again. And look at this work of art we were able to create here in the freeze time. We got a little cowboy hat. Almost in a full 360-degree radius, but we did not have enough pause time to make it all the way there. So we will kind of cut that one short. Either way, into the second half here. And we're going to see a little bit of utility bot up. A nade and a kit here. And a full utility set bot in 6C. This is an interesting start to the round here for the CT side.
Yeah, and the most important thing, that extra Glock has been removed. Unacceptable to be on the playing field. Must be terminated for a legitimate game.
Competitive
For the curse
integrity.
will reign supreme of the 6th Glock. The forbidden weapon. Looks like they're interested in going for apps here early. And after going for some initial control, they're just keeping with a 4-stack. Starting to worry a little bit more towards Balk and going for that info. And Jordan's able to find that first contact, and that's going to make Triumph stay locked down on this A site. Just waiting for players to go on in. And they're dedicating to this. Will is able to find that first contact. George with one before getting taken out. And an amazing headshot onto Hate. Sexy's already very low HP, brought down to 11, but he's on the other bomb site, so it doesn't matter. But it's up to Iki. Has to do a 1v5 clutch to get another pistol round in the favor of GGPR.
Slip past each other, one through apartments, one up lane here, and now we get a kind of idea. B is looking like a tempting option here, but he might walk into this long range angle of 60. One bullet would do the trick. Oh, and timing so unfortunate. Spots out the likes of 60, and now he's going to reposition. And Beaky starts to get the idea that maybe B's the best option. He's going to start to accelerate. It will be 60, though, left to meet him. With an HE in his hand here, could do all of the damage. The site starts to be pressed upon. It will be that B bomb site meetup between these two players here. Here's the footsteps, and all 60 has to do is wait for that bomb to be planted. He's going to fully stick it, and 60 peeks off the back of it, catches him in the back, denies the bomb plant, denies the clutch as well.
I thought I was about to go for a certain tactical crouching maneuver there for a second.
I'm surprised, you know. Tactical crouching is a very effective way to get to your opponent's head.
And some other things. But it'll be Triumph with a full set of MP9s to handle the anti-eco against GGPR. Being all set up, good to go, and it'll be Beaky with that flashbang to try to help them get banana control. Triumph try to keep them back using with the smoke and fire, keeping them away, and with the fire going away first, they decide to push through mid first. That'll be the logic they use to go through, so they try to get some apartments control, but Hate doesn't like anyone barging in his apartment complex that easily. Takes JT out of the round, and takes Low Rider as well. Says he didn't knock. And finds more. 60 is able to take down another. And Insaniac's able to find one before George finds the last remaining player. And Hate shows his zero toleration policy for not having manners when entering the apartment.
They're jumping along the fire escape right there. Gotta be careful. Sure you knock before entry, as we're going to see a lot of MP9s, in fact, come through from Triumph. This is the issue. Once you invest into that second round, knowing that you're likely up against Glocks, you bring it out into this third round of the half here, and you're going to be lacking heavily. You need to take some sort of ground. You need to close the distance between the AK and the MP9 to get the real effect of this weapon, and they're kind of trying to do that with banana control being pressed upon.
Yeah, but I mean, if they take this round away with the MP9s, it'll be an absolute nightmare. They'll have all the bonus cash and everything to work with. Beaky's able to find that distance duel, but even then still able to get away until Pluto's able to get Gexy down and Exceed as well. Fully handedly taking the A site alone. And just low HP on all 4 of these players. Playing CS on hardcore mode. Everyone's fragile, and they're both trying to rotate together through mid. The main important player is Pluto. He should be able to take up to 3 shots. And it looks like they're both interested in retaking through the apartments. Just playing through that direction. which might work out well, considering Insomniac's playing from quad.
It's a
Needs
nade.
to be able to land the first shot clean against Pluto, though.
I walked out of apartments
There is that
here.
nade on Insomniac, but I don't think he's going to be using it
Ooh.
till then. George, as he drops down, Pluto misses the shot. An opportunity for George. Won't be able to find that ace clutch, though. Will only get 4 of the 5. And be settled down, at least for now.
Back into it here. Lowrider a little bit slow to start, but no surprise. He's just gotten into the server here, so he's probably taking a little while to heat up. And now we got a tactical pause called out by Triumph here at the moment. Trying to decide what exactly they have in store for this buy. It's going to be a little investment, but not too much, to make sure that they can get some decent weaponry into this next one. Loss bonus of 1900. You're only going to really see George lacking in this next round. Maybe 60 as well. But everyone else looking pretty comfortable. And Hate can even drop over an AWP to 60.
Yeah. I'm ticking, and they are at least in the position. Triumph have to just go for some pistols in this round. Very important clutch that GGPR were able to barely win out. And it means that even though their money's low, these MAC 10s end up being a feature and a benefit, because it means they can get that bonus money running over these unarmored players. They're trying to find just the right timing on these HEs to get the damage in, and a beautiful deep Molotov forced them to decide which direction they're going. But looks like they're getting positioned for these nades. But they are missing for the most part. But that Deagle from Exceed will not. Blind spray from Beaky's able to find 1, but Exceed's now found 2.
Uh-oh. Other than that, 60's going to hold down the line here on the A-bomb site, putting it into a 2v3, still maintaining that man advantage and forcing JT to group up towards A, but in the meantime, Pluto has pushed the issue.
But they've never cleared pit. Sexy's still just chilling here. Gets hit by the molly, getting forced out in the open, and finally taken on down. It'll be all up to Hate. Succeed would simply just have the miracle of lurking at just the right time through the smoke, and might actually be able to save it at just the last second, but the flashbang works well. And it's up to JT to find that quick headshot onto Hate to make sure things are kept well enough together. As that was moments from disaster from that Deagle lurk.
It really was. He was so close to swinging that round another way right there, and instead it's going to be a closer from GGPR, but
If he wasn't, yeah, if he wasn't crouching, I'm pretty sure he would have been able to find and just obtain that headshot, and that would have been enough to seal it right there.
I think so as
Fortunately
well.
for GGPR, he crab walked his way onto the site.
Back to the
But
triple
now
banana
with the
setup.
Yeah,
Oh,
going off of it really quickly though.
Lowrider taken down to 11 HP already to start this round off. Not very healthy, to say the least here. He's starting the round on hard mode. And, I mean,
Yeah, certainly a rough way to start it. Has to, worst case, be kind of like bait for his team to trade. A bit rough of a situation. Players are just holding, crawling around this mid-smoke. Just holding for any potential push around it. And Exceed will go for that boiler control. And Hate will join him as well. Comrades in arms protecting the apartments. So they set up to go mid, and Hate will find that first pick, run back to the site, and just allow those apartments to be held with from Exceed. And JT doesn't clear the balcony. He has no idea there's a player right behind him. And I don't think anyone has any idea.
oh, it's
He has
bomb.
the knife out, and that's the bomb. In a 5v3 situation, stuck in balcony. It's an absolute disaster, and Hate's probably prepared to swing to just find another. Though good news is they're able to get that bomb back, but not without consequences. Exceed able to take down Beaky, and Will still close here to mow down and confirm the round, having George help out to allow him to get that double on Pluto.
What a rough go about right there. They dropped the bomb in apartments, and on top of that, the last 2 rounds have come down to the 1v1s here. That GGPR were able to convert. Look at the money right now. We are sitting at pots and pans here. I don't even know if they'll be able to upgrade off of the Glocks. And they're going to go for a force play. They know it's in double save territory. And, oh, man. This could be Triumph inching closer and closer to the 2-0. But still, I mean, there's a chance with this force play to get the job done. They just have to hit some nice shots. That's what they're trying to do here. Get into the early apartments. GGPR has found himself an opener. And has been able to grab himself an MP9. Can he get out? That's the question here.
Maybe able to. And Pluto with another pick now into Exceed. And just with all of that map control, things start to become an issue. Interestingly, Sexy's taking the gamble of rotating towards B. It is the right call. George is able to find the first, going aggressive, able to find 2 before being taken out, and Wills will follow up and keep things up in that even situation. And Sexy's aware of Pluto's shenanigans. He's trying to go towards this A site, able to try to quickly avoid him, but just strafing and just bursting him down, making it impossible for this op to take him out. That'll be Wills with the mid-rotate to try to win this 1v2 retake.
If B Wills is clutch enough here, he's pushing up towards lane. There's 2 players, one watching that long angle, one watching the short. And that will be the decision of B Wills walking up towards Arch or rather short position. There's 2 right around the corner. He has to clear out pit. That's a big issue. He's been spotted on the jiggle. Pluto just holds down mouse 1 to find the eventual headshot there. GGPR, I talked about how we could be inching towards a 2-0, but that's a brilliant response right there. A eco round victory, or rather force by round victory, to keep GGPR in contention on Inferno.
Yeah, favors certainly in Triumph's favor still, but it is certainly by an inch and slowly progressing, as it looks like Triumph just decided to go for a force of their own. We're back to the good old classic force by wars. And it looks like their solution is having 4B instead of 3. Clearly not enough players, need to go more aggressive. Start with heavy utility and just go for the fight. Able to catch Lowrider with utility out. Do heavy damage onto him, as well as get that initial pick on JT. And they're just rushing forward off of it until just now. And now they all have to rotate. Sexy's calling. They're all coming here. It's just the Deagle and Cold Sierra and Beaky midair with the Mac 10 just hits him in the head. But it's still a 4v4 retake. Fair possibility at this. So they get the space to push in, especially if Soniac keeps missing these shots. Though it looks like he'll not make that mistake twice and make sure there's no room given. And Pluto will help him out, and they pick apart the entire defense trying to retake that bomb site. And able to get GGPR now in double digits.
There's a world where 60 could have mounted a defense, but the jumping Mac 10 shows him otherwise right there. And exactly right. Could be double it is double digits, rather. It could be even more here. Just look at the buy that's going to come out. Not a single thing upgraded upon, and they're just going to run it down mid with 4 players, it seems. They're just going to take the fight through USPs out. Flashbangs up to deter them. And Shaniak, he's going to have himself a shooting range here as he looks for more. Taking some damage here, and Shaniak actually goes down there. Early dismissal for him as he's not able to get some of those confidence building ecos. And now Exceed has found himself last alive. They're heading his way as well.
Yeah, might as well, because for the most part, there's not really much to do with pistols in this round. Just don't worry about having a game plan. You already feel like you have the confidence. You're a map up. This is your own map pick. Maybe a little bit of stress is coming on in, but just don't worry about it. Let them get that round, move on, and progress to the next. But looks like technical pause coming on out. Give Triumph a minute. Will be needed. Lowrider still with the Mac 10 currently. I believe both the kills he's gotten so far have been with it.
Making good use of that SMG. He's kind of slow to start, but he's able to get a couple of frags in that last round and the round before. Now, this is a rather large swing round right here. If Triumph can convert this, that'll put them back into the driver's seat. They need to maintain their composure because it's going to be a couple of gun rounds in a row before they ever get a chance to topple the economy, before they ever get a chance really to breathe a nice sigh of relief and keep GGPR at bay. They're doing a great job of trying to close it out. Now it just required a couple more to take this into overpass.
Yep, but there's one small problem getting in the way of it. Which is technical pause slowing things out.
Tech pauses.
Yeah.
Always good to get a nice little bit of break here in the action here. Much needed breather. Triumph, again, they need to kind of gather some composure at the moment. Not sure how long this will last here. It should be over per rather.
Whatever it is, it's not the classic TeamSpeak has crashed. uh that's been infamous over the years.
Oh, yes. Teamspeak has crashed. We need some time to talk things over. Not that. Surely not. I mean, they still have 3 timeouts left, so
Yep.
got plenty of
And this is
technicals.
likely no doubt it's a valid reason for everything going on.
We also got the coach of Ninja in GGPR as well. So interesting thing is that they kind of switch in between Flash Step as their coach and Ninja, and I think that he's actually got some time off of work to sub in and coach this match. So he's gonna be doing the coaching in this week as he's got some time off of work. It's exciting to see. Maybe partially the reason why they weren't not only able to best third impact in a 2-0 fashion with a roster that I was a little bit worried about, but on top of that, take down what could be a very nice map victory over Triumph if they're able to convert off of this one.
Yeah, getting this round would be certainly a way for them to confirm that advantage and start closing things out with their favor. But they still have to buy up once technical issues get resolved. But the main issue is they do have low money overall for a full buy, about 4,600. Maybe a little bit difficult to get all the utility they would like, considering GGPR have everything they want to work with. Might make things difficult. Might take some risks and fall apart quickly if they try to find some opening picks to give them the room to breathe and some advantages.
Yeah, I'm wondering what they're gonna go for here. If they're gonna play more safe or if they're gonna go more aggressively.